hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world and keep the sky on your mind.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome in. I hope y'all are having a great week out there as I get the music under control here. Man, that guy behind the mic must not have been streaming for a while. Well, yeah, it has been a while since I've been behind the mic. So welcome in, folks. Hope you enjoy. We're going to do a fun little flight here. We're going to fly from Madrid, Spain, down to Malaga, Spain. It's about an hour flight time, and ought to be, I think it's going to be kind of fun. We're not going to do a compare and contrast just yet again, but we are going to fly the Flight Factor A320, and then in a couple of days we're going to pull out one of the towless birds, and we'll let you all see the difference so that you decide which one you like. So, but anyway, I kind of like them both. They each have their pros and, well, mostly pros on the towless side, but there are pros and cons. So, but today we're in Flight Factor's A320 again, Madrid, Spain, down to Malaga, if I'm pronouncing it right, Spain. For those that like the ICAO codes, Lima Echo Mike Delta for Madrid and Lima Echo Mike Golf for Malaga. Malaga. I don't ever get those little marks they put above the letters, so sorry folks. You get what you get out of me. All right, so anyway, we're sitting on the line here. Kind of a weird setup because when I pulled this flight up on FlightAware, it said gate H37. Well, I can't find H37 on any of my charts. So, you know, we did what any sane person would do. Called Mr. Google, give me a helping hand. And he did. And he set me on spot 399. So, I don't know if that's what they call it inside the terminal, if it is actually hidden out here somewhere. But anyway, we're at Terminal 4, north end of the airport, north end of the terminal, just as you can tell, just about parked with the people inside. So anyway, hey, Boeing can't keep doors on. Maybe that's what Airbus does. They like to get to the people. So anyway, hey Hawker, welcome aboard. Thanks for all of the great emotes you put out there as always, and hope things are going well for you. All right, so let's climb aboard and see what the flight has ahead of us. All right, and we do that with a sim toolkit. I'm going to have to get a new way for that to come in. I don't like how it just bloop and then fades. So we'll work on that. But anyway, Iberia Express. Actually didn't know this was an airline. I thought it was how we had shuttle routes up along the East Coast. I thought that's what this really was. Go figure, it's an actual airline for Iberia. So maybe that's how
You love me! You really love me!
And Suik, thank you, sir.
Suik68 just subscribed for 7 months.
Month of subscription
Hello,
for 7 months. Thank you, sir, so much. We appreciate you. And hope you enjoy today's little jaunt down through Spain. All right, so as you can see, there's our little, I'm pretty sure we're going north and then west, a little southwest, and back in for the route. We'll find that out here in a second. But let's get up here and find out who's daring to fly with Mike on Flight Factor. We're going to have a payload of 17,408 pounds. Basically, that's 900 and... that's what was in the back of my mind. I'm not used to hearing things, folks. I figured it's that, that psychosis that's always gone, where you hear things all the time in the back of your head. Yeah, I thought that was alive and well in me right now. So, oh wait, it always is. Never mind. What? No. Anyway, so 17,408 pounds. Is going to be boarding the aircraft, which is going to equal 94 people and their bags. We're going to load on 11,781 pounds of fuel, which will bring us up to a lovely gross weight of 123,639 pounds. One thing I kind of wish Sim Toolkit would do, and that would be kind of neat, put this in kilos, unless that's what they're trying to do, now that I look at it. But that would be kind of neat if they threw that in kilos. So you got your pounds, or vice versa, for those of you that fly in Europe and your primary is kilos, well, you'd have it in parentheses in pounds. Oh, just me. But anyway, so it looks like to be a great flight. The VTB 6 left is what we're going to take once we roll off a 3-6 left. Then UN 10 to CRISA, to the UN 864, to the VULPE. Oh, VULPE, to the VULP 1 Bravo arrival. Hopefully the wheels will touch down on runway 31. Only time will tell if we actually hit the right runway, which, folks, that is actually a little bit of an inside joke here. We have on time actually landed on the wrong runway. So at least, to my defense, I haven't yet landed at the wrong airport. That has happened in the real world, not necessarily here, but in the U.S. I know of several flights that have mistakenly landed on the wrong airports. So, some not so good. The aircraft's just a little big for where they went. Oh well, it happens. And they've actually taken off on wrong runways, which could be a very bad thing, and in one airport it was. We're not going to get into that. We're going to keep it upbeat. It's Tuesday. We're getting into the grind of the week, and we need to be upbeat. So that's what today is going to be all about. Cost index 43, and dispatch has been liberal enough to give us 31,000 feet. So we'll give it a shot. What the heck? Weather out there. It's Spain, folks. I've been told it rarely rains in Spain, but yet we have a poem, "The rains that fall in Spain, mainly on the plains." Go figure that one out. We got a good pressure here of 1022, winds out of the, we'll call it west at 7, and nice, comfortable, for you in Europe, 12 degrees. For us in the U.S., 53.6. Hey, we can't complain in winter when, as a meteorologist once put it, and it was great to hear on TV, every day above normal is one less day before spring of below normal temperatures. Very insightful. So, beautiful day here in Madrid. Down in Malaga, pretty much the same weather, except the wind's a little bit more out of the north at 11 knots. And 71 degrees for us in the U.S., 22 degrees for those that know the Celsius scale. Again, all in all, a beautiful flight lays ahead of us, so I hope y'all enjoy. Should be a fun run. So with all of that, let's I'm going to go ahead and pull NavGraph up here. Kill that. Import. Maybe. There we go. And we'll do our Madrid to Málaga. All right, there you get a better idea of how this looks all the way down. And just for those, this is Alicante, Barcelona. That's not the right song. Is that? Yeah, that's Valencia. Okay. Oh, here it is, BCN, right up here. So, most of us, this is the two that we know. There are some really neat airports here along the coast and inland that obviously Iberia, one of Spain's big airlines, service. So, all right, so let's kind of zoom in here. As advertised, we are, okay, I guess we're on the west side of the airport, not the north. My bad. The far west side. And again, the farthest gate you can get to without being in the terminal. I mean, seriously, we're almost in the terminal. That's probably coming not too long, the way aviation's been. So, anyway, so we're planning 36 left, a nice short taxi here. How we get there, I have no idea. I figure I'll just come down here, and find my way to the runway. All right, then we're going to take the VTB departure. All right, so let's quickly look it over. Transition level here is 13,000 feet. We need to be on an RNAV departure, which is fine. DME's required. Expect close-in obstacles. What that would mean. And SID are also noise abatement, so we got to stick to them, folks. All right, so when we take off 36 left, we're going to cross SS Rays. Once over, then we turn to intercept 285, or 320, my bad. We'll come in on a 285 degree. Basically, that is all noise abatement for you, folks. So we'll take 320 out here to MD-02. Maximum speed throughout here, folks. We cannot go faster than 210. And we need to get above 5,200 feet. Now, that seems kind of daunting in what looks like a pretty short amount of time. Until you look right here. We're almost 2,000 feet up. So we only have to gain 3,200, 3,400 feet to get above that. So that's actually not bad. Then we have MD-041 back to Barajas, and then we get to go out to Villa Tubas. At that point, we need to be above 13,000. I hate to say this, we'll probably be above 13,000, pretty close to here, and then head on out. But the heavies might have troubles that are going into Africa. So they could be struggling to make some of these. So, and then you just request it. And then for aircraft usability, refer to this and so forth. So looking at this, there are no minimum altitudes. Initial clearance is for 13,000 and so forth. So we will follow the chart to the best that we can. All right, pretty simple stuff here, folks. All right, so what I'm going to do, clear off the screens here, and let's finish up getting this plane ready for flight. Now, as you can tell, we already have ground power established. We've already fueled. We got our fuel numbers right there. We just need to pick up the checklist here from preliminary checks. So what I like to do, even on the toll list, come in, make sure the basics. Bad thing, you see what's missing here, folks? Flight factor, I wish you would listen. This white ribbon tells you if it's armed or not. So push it down to make sure, because they're not putting the white ribbons on. Flaps are up. Put in 2,000 over here after it clicked twice of clear. On and... Wait a minute, what am I missing? Okay, we'll work with that. See, may just be a very simple, not much of the radar works, but anyway, make sure your spoilers are down, flaps are up, start levers are off, and you're in mode normal. This is what helps you get started. I always like to make sure that moves. We'll come back for the radios later. I did skip something. Make sure the gear's down, 3 green, and no warning showing. I will flip this into heptapascals, millibars, if you will. All right, nice look outside as we head up. All right, so we're going to continue on. Battery 1 off, then on, and we got a charge. Good. Battery 2 off, and we got a charge going there. Good. Fuel pumps are off, external power's on, and these two will light become unlit once the inertial system is put into nav and works its way through the process. Okay, once you're fueled, do an APU fire check. Oh, that's way too quiet. Been working on this, and I had a feeling that's what I'd miss out on. Right, what else? Right, that should help. Little better. Okay. Want to be able to hear it, that's why. Nope, that's going to have to do. And I get my engine fire checks done too. Now in the real plane, you would scan down, look at your ECAMs, make sure you're getting master cautions on your eyebrow, ECAM showing which engine, which unit is showing fire. All right, continuing on, we can start the APU. Okay, come down here, you can actually watch and wait for flap open. There you go. And then hit start. Come back down, watch it fire up. Now this one I think goes a little slower than the tollless birds. So to tell you which one's right, couldn't tell you. but it gets fired up quick enough. But again, hope y'all are having a great week. We are Tuesday. Wait a minute. Correction. Wednesday. Hump day. My bad. It's hump day. Alright, so we got the avail light. So let's go on. Cockpit lights and McDo's are set like we want. Let's do a cockpit light test. Make sure Sylvania and GE are all getting paid properly for all of these light bulbs. And I'll be honest, I actually have never had one out, so I don't know how we would replace it like we do in the 727. Well, I know, unscrew the bulb, put it back in, but it doesn't work really that easy in light sim. Okay, they're set. Alright, and moving on. So flaps speed brake probe heat is unlit, which means it's in the auto position. Otherwise, it'd be on. And we can turn the APU bleed on now. Should see pack 1 and 2 go out here. There they go. And if you want, you can come down here, see what the temperatures are inside. Right now we are on the Celsius side, so 15s seem a little chilly to me. Check my littles, 59 degrees, so they're warming up right now. So we'll delay boarding just a couple of more minutes to get the cabin a little more comfortable. Alright, continuing on. Cross bleed is in the auto position, and the air conditioning temperatures we just checked, they're coming up. In Gen 1, Gen 2, they will stay in fault until we get the big engines turning. Alright, external power can now be turned off. And the ventilation system right here, no lights. But that about midway, 12 o'clock, and folks, we're ready to start into the pre-flight. Looking for a line and on bat. There it is. Number 2. Okay, got the align. Now waiting for the on bat. Alright, and when that goes off, we'll fire up number 3. I know, airline companies just never know how to count. I know, but actually manufacturers, not airlines. And there's the third one. Alright, so let's continue on. Coming down real quick, let's do a CVR check, cockpit voice recorder check. Oh, you know what helps to turn it on? There it is. Always helps to make sure it's on. Oxygen, everything set and ready. Strobes to the auto. We'll go on nav 2 lights, and the rest are off. Seatbelts can come on now. Everything else, landing elevation is auto. Pack flow is gonna stay normal, and fuel pumps can come on now. Radios 1, 2, and 3 look good there. Let's come down here. Let's see if we're able to set. This is what gets aggravating. And this is one of my pet peeves with this plane. Having to recycle these radios. And it can take sometimes getting the whole flight put in before these radios become alive. There they are. It's just really aggravating. And alright, now we're getting Unicom set. Alright. Bear with me as I put in my frequencies I like to have on. Okay. Yeah, I should have known when I didn't see mode C over here. Alright, so we got our radios checked, and now we can get up here and start putting the flight plan in. Alright, I think you're going to like this, folks. This is kind of a neat thing. Just making sure. Cool. That has come about here of late. I think this is probably one of the, for both Flight Factor and TOLUS, one of the greatest, you know, to me, one of the better things they brought out. Zebo has taken it up an amp a little bit further than they have, and they're free. So that might tell you something, folks. To where they're actually putting the plane into the cycle. For when you hit the gate, you turn everything off, jetway comes out, they unload, and then they go into the loading process if you're turning the plane at the same time. It's just unreal, and I love what they're doing with this. Yes, I'm stalling because our followers and newcomers to the channel are in a commercial break, so I think they would appreciate seeing this. Alright, they are back now. Welcome back, folks. Alright, so as I was saying, this is to me something that has really been cool that's come about. And I didn't know if maybe it's real world or not. Kinda sounds like it might be, but I don't know, being I'm only a private pilot. I didn't even have to enter my flight plan. It was on my lap for me to check off as I went by things. Alright, so we just make sure 25 Jan to 22 Feb. We got a little longer here, folks, on this cycle. Click the init feature. Alright, now, if you have a SimBrief account, this feature will come alive with it. So, I gotta remember, stand by. Let me look over here. Yes. Alright. So, as you can see here, you have to, on the settings page, go in, put your numerical SimBrief ID, and then once you've done that, set it up in here, follow, of course, the manual, you will be ready to be able to do a lot of things quicker here. Now, granted, we're a little slowed here because we're demonstrating, but bear with me. So instead of having to fill all of this stuff out, click here, and boom, there's your stuff. TOLUS goes a little further and starts getting this, that, and the other brought in, but Flight Factor, you're ready to roll here. Now, I go here. Now, bear with me. I'm going to bring up charts, and I'm going to go find the coordinate chart. All right, so bear with me. I know it's way down here. Terminals 4. All right. So here's all the gates, folks. We're in 399, I believe it is. Ah, we lost a plane. I'm sorry, 392. Glad I looked. All right, so look for 392 in the list here. All right, so you can see it's right here, 388 through 394. Basically, it's moving you from the center of the airport closer to your gate, if not on your gate, okay? That's what it's trying to tell the IRS to align to. So in our case, we need North 40, 29.3. We got that. Click over here. Click over here. Sorry, folks, on the wrong one. Okay, we were not on the right one. I was looking at the wrong numbers. 29.3, correct? Okay, over here, we need to be 0335.5. 35.5. You're going, how can it be off by that much? Actually, that's where your GPS shows you at. If you didn't notice that, align on ref and go. So now, when this whole system wraps up here in a few minutes, it's, hang on a second. Okay, I'm not sure why we're not getting the minutes, but that's okay. Usually it tells you how long. But anyway, once it's wrapped up, it's going to align on that instead of wherever the airport center is. Okay, which is what it was showing. Even though the GPS was in the right place. You can click wind here, request it. You can check each phase that it's there, but you know, it's always better to just request it in flight too. Alright, so there's the first of the two initialization pages. We'll come back to the second one in a minute. Let's go to flight plan. Oh, the GPS just aligned. And if you didn't know, this is how your PFD is supposed to look, as is your nav display. Alright. Okay, continuing. So we can clear this off now, and what I am going to do is put in terminal. We are parked, just so you know, right here. And with the aid of Google, I was able to figure that out. Now, whether that's right or not, that's always another story. All right, so we need to fill in the blocks here. Remember, we're going out on the VTB 6L. So go up here, click on LEMD, click the line select by departure, look for your runway first. 36 left. Then look for your SID. That's just about every type of aircraft with FMCs. Runway on departure first, then your SID. Little BASAC were kind of different. Some FMCs will want the approach, then your star, transitions, and all of that. Some will go, you know, start with your star, start with then your runway, and then your transit, you know. So anyway, so the procedure here, runway, then we go get our SID, VTB 6L, and I do not see a transition, although we'll check. Yep, no transition, so insert. We'll put this on plan. 20 is good. and we can begin to step out our flight plan. Okay, we may not have 39, I have a feeling. Okay, so SSY, that's our first one. Then the intercept, then 012, 041. We just kind of begin stepping through it. The VTB, way down here. All right, now we're going to zoom out. We're going to just concern ourselves with the route right now. We'll pick up the star on the chart. Okay, so VTB to IN pan, to CRISA, to MOCEQ. Then we just kind of step through. What we're looking for are discontinuities, like that one. And if any of these things shoot off in big amount of numbers, you know, like you were typing in, let's just say CRISA, you put a K instead of a C at the beginning. That will, folks, put you potentially 5,000 to 7,000 miles off, or several hundred miles off. Either way, you're off course and you won't have the fuel for it. So catching it now is always better than later. I did that on a couple of flights. Trusted it, loaded it right. Oops, it missed something really big. So, all right, so now we're down here where the star starts. We're coming in on VULPE, so we know that's a potential transition for this. But I have a feeling it's not. Most I've found in Europe, not all, but most, the transition is the star. Where in the United States and some other parts of the world, you'll have this big arrival and then spokes coming in, and they're just transitions to the main arrival. Here, the whole arrival is from what we would have thought as a transition. For instance, in the US, this would have been a whole arrival with a transition from BLN right here, SVL, wherever the heck that is. I don't even see it on the chart. Is that it? And VULPE, that has to be it. That's the only thing I can think. So those would be called transitions to a bigger star. You transition in. Here, it's now called the VULPE 1 Bravo. Kind of makes it simple in the long run when you think about it. All right, same thing. Click the line select next to LEMG. Click it by there, and now we know we're aiming for runway 31. Well, let's take a look at what approaches are available to us. Obviously, there's going to be a couple of ILSs and a localizer, potentially a RNAV approach. Why don't we just plan first off, let's get this to the 3-1. Alright, so we can go Yankee or Zulu. I'll be honest, I don't know the difference between the two. They both start at Razid, come in. The only difference I ever see on them, even going to the same place? Sure looks like it. Yeah, other than changing the letter, I don't know the difference. Maybe it's in the minimums. Let's try that. And that would be no. I have no idea what's different about them, folks. I'm going to do the Yankee. Okay, we're going to come in on the VULPE. 1B. VIA is the how you're getting into the ILS. Transition would be how you're doing the star. And there is obviously none. And we click enter. Now, let's, since we did Yankee, add that to route. And I'll show you why. Now what it's done is it's connected the dots all the way and then shows the missed approach. Okay, so now we're coming down. So we'll go back here and let's kind of watch as we work our way in VULPE. We don't have anything saying at or above 13, but an exterior, however, 250 is our maximum speed. Doesn't mean we have to do it, but that's as fast as we can be. All right, pushing it on down. Let's just walk it down to the airport. 458. Uh-oh. Okay, 450. Taco. Osnal. MG 432. Buckox. Gumaz. Oh, we're way ahead of it. Hang on. There we go. Okay, keep going. Not seeing anything. So there's Gomez. Then Elsic. Akyuki. Then we got our MGs. Alright, so we're going to go 620, 624, 628, 632. 636, 630, 626, 622, Razid. And I see they're putting in all of that good fun stuff. Alright, now let's switch over to the ILS chart. Just to see what we got. Razid, Salvam, Lobo. Then our FI-31, which is probably this one because it says 5 miles. And that we'll talk about in route. Alright, wherever there's a 1 on here. So right here, we're going to fly at this speed. Depends on the type of aircraft. Okay, so all the way in, we did fine. Now let's look at this missed approach, which we can follow here, usually in blue. Okay. Looks good. Then on the outside chance, we have to divert to LEZL, which is our Seville. Oh, we might have to go see Bugs Bunny there in the Barbers of Seville. Anyway, that would be our departure route. I'm not going to fill it in. We do the same things. Click here, click departure, get the right one, runway, departure. Same thing on the arrival. So basically everything's good and ready to go, folks. Alright, so we'll come out of plan, keep it at 20. Now the next thing is a RadNav check, and we're basically just making sure the radios aren't sitting on something really weird. SSYs are good. I'd like them to be different, but you know, hey, the computer's running it. Now we go back to a NIT. Now we're going to do page 2. Now sometimes this does not match the EFB. Okay, so we come back to the EFB and it's changed again. Alright, so let's take a look here. We got the right people. got the fuel, but all of a sudden our cargo is all out of whack again. Doggone it. Hopefully it's still on my phone here, and yep, it is 1088. I have to put that in for each one after I call them. In order to load or do anything on this plane, first off, go to service, supply, there's your ground power, air starter if you want to use that, chocks. But you have to call the fuel truck, call gate or stairs, depending where you are, you can switch it, and then call your 2 baggage loaders. Now we'll load it up. 1,000. And you can see it doesn't like that I'm putting in that number. Alright, so we'll set it, remove them. It's supposed to prevent that from happening, and you can see it doesn't. And that put us back to our zero fuel weight of 111,000. We're supposed to have 858. We're shy by, oh Lord, 8 pounds. Oh, what are we to do? Fly on. So when you click set here, folks, what that does, you just saw it happen over here. Had that number stayed like it was supposed to, with me of clicking set earlier, we could come back, click weight request, boom, these numbers should match up. However, they are in kilograms. We are in pounds. I haven't figured that one out yet. Why? You set it to be in pounds, it still goes to kilograms. I am not the developer, so I can't figure. I don't have an answer for you. So we have I look at it this way. That's right. The fuel, again, you can pull Mr. Google out and do the convert and see how close you are. I'm going to go with it. All right, what does that leave us with, folks? That leaves us on the perf page. All right, now I will say this, and we're again not really contrasting con and pro of flight factor versus TOLUS or the other way around, but this is where I think TOLUS again has an edge. This is right now a pretty much new feature with flight factor, so there could be issues that brew up. We'll see. The two of them that I don't like, and don't get me wrong, TOLUS I don't like in this either. They do a great job, TOLUS, in the approach performance calculation stuff where the METAR is down there for you to just copy paste or look and see. It's not so on the departure page, neither here, but it's neither either of them, because this is all you get. Alright, so the runway, 36 left. Let's bring it up again real quick. Charts, 36 left. As you can tell, it's in meters, 4179. Heading 360, works for me. Slope, elevation, is that close? Going to do it that way. Oh, there it is. It's 1980, 98. They've got it at 85. I'm not going to worry too much about that. This is where we got to look. You're not seeing that because I know charts is right on top of it. Okay, so this pretty much worked out good. Patrick V2997, thank you for following. We sure appreciate you coming aboard, being a part of Flying with Mike. Hope you enjoy the flight factor here. We're going to be flying it again on Friday. So just so you all who missed things today can catch it on Friday. All right, so we got our runway. I'm okay with most of the numbers here. This one's a little low. It's a little low, it seems like, on all the airports. This is the one that always concerns me because I don't have a METAR to work off of to see what time they're working from. They say they're up to date, but I know they're not up to date. And I've also done this with folks when I flew in the Microsoft days with FSX and Century of Flight. Sorry, they haven't made a flight simulator better than Century of Flight, ever. So, you all may enjoy your little eye candy, but Century of Flight was the best. Anyway, I know, I just hurt a lot of people. Takeoff. And I was correct. We're 12 degrees, and that is as of... Hang on a second. Let me bring charts back in. Okay, so you all got your snapshot. 11, 10, 20 dry, 242. Let's see what charts says. Okay, with charts, I click, oh, that's for Malaga. Here we go. Here is 25 minutes ago, 2506. Temperature 12? Yeah, that's right. 12. Uh-oh, I can't change it. There we go. 1022. That's why I would like to know what time is X plane working from. 250. And that is going to be at 6. So you can see, I even screwed up. There we go. You can see that's significantly different. All right, we'll go to performance data. We're showing 123,607 in pounds. Close enough. All right. I'm going to calculate, see if it'll do anything. Whoa. Flaps 3 on a 13,000 foot runway? No. I might do a flex, yeah. But no. We're not going flaps 3. Alright, so they got some work still to do on this. Alright, so that looks a whole lot better. Flaps 1, I had to set. Flaps 2 could be called on in this, you know, just because of being at 2,000 feet. All of that could, you know, bring that into play. But we'll go with flaps 1. One thing missing from both of them, though, folks, is how much runway. Now, TOLUS will show you a kind of a cryptic graph that you got to kind of figure out which, you know, what does this mean? What does this mean? In my word, it's cryptic. You all are going to probably like, Flying with Mike is a piece of cake. The top V1 is the one up at the top, the highest speed, the lowest one's the lowest. Okay, well, what is it in between? So, again, that's great to have, though. Don't get me wrong. So, really, the big, if I had a gripe, it's METAR. What METAR and what time? You at least in TOLUS do it on the landing stuff, but you don't on anything else. And to you, Flight Factor, same thing. All right, but other than that, I mean, Flight Factor's good. Folks, first off, realize Flight Factor and TOLUS are two different companies. Are you going to see spot-on aircraft from both? No. Are you going to see the aircraft the same? No. Flight Factor has their ideas. Tolis has their ideas. However, there are a lot of similarities. So, I'm just showing you, hey, I like them both. Flight Factor, being the fact it's an A320 with the older engines, what they call CEOs, versus the newer engines, the NEOs. I like it for that. So I really appreciate that Flight Factor has done this, and I hope those negative comments aren't, taken internally too hard. I hope they use them to try to build a better platform. Same when I talk about Tolis. Tolis is already the creme de la creme that everyone loves, but they too have problems, and I hope they address them at some point. So, and if they don't, great, I'm still gonna get the stuff, folks. It's out of this world. Can't wait to see what's next in the lineup. So, heard a nasty rumor from X-Plane what could be coming, and I'm interested to see how that'll work out. And folks, I am not gonna even try to do it any justice. Go to the X-Plane or go to Discord, to X-Plane's Discord channel, read announcements or server news, something like that. It's in there about this coming. It's interesting. It'll be interesting. Let's just put it that way. All right. All of that blabber to say this, that we've gone through. All we got to do now is make this go here. In the meantime, hang on a second. Pulling up a guy by the name of Black Box. The real Airbus pilot, now I believe 787 pilot. By the way, congratulations to you, Black Box. Sad to hear you crossed over to the dark side, but anyway, oh no, there's good airplanes, folks. Good airplanes all around. Some just make people laugh so hard that the doors fall off. But anyway, I kill me sometimes. Anyway, if you go to Black Box, and if memory serves, I'm going from memory, I think I did it the simple way. Go to that page, you'll end up on his airport information charts. And I figured he'd have been to LEMD at least once in his career of being an Airbus pilot. I mean, good Lord. He flies in Europe, folks. And basically, what he has done, he goes in, he has this great website where you can get airport information from your transition levels to your elevations to your runway lengths, widths, and all of that good stuff. And thrust reduction, acceleration numbers right here, engine out numbers. Believe it or not, there are formulas that figure this all out for you. Thrust reduction is 3,500. Acceleration is 5,000. So we'll put that in. Hopefully it'll work. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna /5,000. There. And then engine out acceleration 4,100 feet. These are all feet, by the way. Those are adjustable. 13,000 is the transition, and as we said, V1 is 147. Rotate 148. 152 for V2. Oh, missed the one somehow. 5-2. All right, now we do need flaps and horizontal stabilizer trim. Oh, I did it again. Bear with me a second, folks. All right, to get this number, go back to your perf data. It's right here, down 0.9. So first off, we know we're flaps 1, diagonal, DN 0, 9. And are we flexing? Yes, so we'll put that temperature right there, 6.5. What flex means, folks, is just kind of how you hear it. You're flexing the engine, meaning you're going to not run it at max power for takeoff. You're going to flex it back to give it just enough power for takeoff, for climb, to cruise. So that's what you're doing. So instead of running it at 100 to 110% power, you're backing it off to 80 to 90%, still well enough to get off the ground, climb, get up to cruise, and you're saving some wear and tear on the engine. It's got to make it to that big granddaddy overhaul because that's a lot of money. All right. So we are programmed up, ready to go. All right, what's coming up next? Real simple, folks. We're ready to push and start, so we'll get the altimeter set in here. Altimeter currently 1022. Gander to the other side. Okay, get these on VOR. Okay, FD, we want landing system available and constraints. What that does, one, it'll put the ILS up there. Two, in case we have to come back. You know, something catastrophic happens that we need to return. Engine goes, pressurization issues, whatever, that we need to return. So, and then we're on ARC, we're on 30. Managed, and then we need, let's go to 13 for now. Okay, and then we just repeat over here. FD, all right. Then we want to make sure the landing gear, we'll set the auto brake after pushback, landing gear down, and switching panel up, and transponder. I'm going to put that on F plan, and our transponder is set. Okay, let me do this. Need to get on VATSIM. IBE 220. And it's A320. All right, and we're coming up right now. And just so you know, folks, I also, when I look for parking spots, I also look for spots that are, I noticed what I did wrong. Sorry, folks. I look for spots a little out of the way, so I don't have to necessarily look. Did I pop in on someone? Little nighttime flying. All right. I think we're ready to blow out of this popsicle stand. Got no centers or approaches up. We're online, ready to go. Just make sure we're off with close the main door. Okay, it's available, so we're good. I am going to need, let me just make sure, I like doing this, taxi out this way. Okay.
Ground to copy. Please, show me where you want to go.
I want to go home.
Ground to copy. Now you're driving up.
And there he comes. All right. That reminded me, and now I forgot. Now let's go.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Okay. We're all set, ready to go. Frequencies are in, and we are ready.
Cell connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Break off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
I'll wait till we get out a little further, folks. But again, welcome aboard. Thanks for flying with Mike today. Today it's Madrid to Malaga, down in the southern part of Spain. It's about a 50 to a minute to an hour fly time. So hope to have a great time here. If you're new to the channel, hey, smash that follow button. That way you can see where we're headed on our next adventures when I go live. You're more than welcome to join us if you're able. But yeah, thank you for being a part of this flight. This is the Flight Factor A320. I've been in the flight simming world since about 1999 consistently. Prior to that, off and on with the different Microsoft products prior to that. Primarily up until about 2020, flying FS 2000, I believe, is what I started. Might have been 98. But worked my way up to FSX. Loved a Century of Flight. Sorry if this breaks a lot of people's heart. Century of Flight was still the best sim Microsoft ever did. And then, due to some computer issues, landed on X-Plane, and I'm not leaving, folks. I found a better flight sim than the other side of the world. So, anyway, we are on VATSIM. We're pushed back, getting ready to go here. Hope y'all enjoy the ride. Like I said, it's going to be about an hour once wheels are up down to Malaga. That's LEMG. And hope you enjoy. They tell me it rarely rains in Spain. I don't know. That kind of
Operation
looks...
complete. Set parking brake.
Brake is set.
Selectito. Stand by.
Let's get number 1 turning. So, hope y'all enjoy, and we'll enjoy the taxi out here in a second. Alright, engine 2 is spooling up now. Alright, clear them out. And before we get too far off the subject, folks,
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, sir. Thank you, Better Pushback, for pushing. We'll see you next time. Thanks for flying with Mike. But when I switched and went over to X-Plane, I also, at about the same time, a couple months later, after getting a little bit of used to X-Plane, there's the pins, I started streaming. So I've been doing this for about 3 years now, streaming. So, and I appreciate everyone that follows and subscribes to the channel. Talk to Hawker if you ever get a chance. 125, one of our moderators. He'll tell you, I came kicking and screaming to streaming, and I stream now quite a bit. So, and it's thanks to you all that I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you listening to me, and hey, I love it when y'all correct me. It really, one, lets me know you're listening, but two, hey, I learn a lot from you guys as well. Alright, we're going through the before taxi stuff. Pitch trim. This is one of those things I like about Airbus, big time. Let's go to the controls. I can actually see the trim without having to strain, get the camera looking at the right angle. Right here, folks, right up here in front of you. And what did we say we're doing? Come to think of it, down 09. Okay, that's set. Now, while I'm here, it's still a couple steps down the road. Why not just do the flight controls? And if you're a real world pilot, and by the way, I am a private pilot. Now, sometimes, do I use add-ons for X-Plane? Patrick V asks. Yes and no. Yes, in the fact I have better pushback, terrain radar, and all of that, plus the pay-wear aircraft. I have a couple of sceneries, so I'm not in anywhere where I have one of those. They're mostly in the U.S. But yes, we do use it with some add-ons. Alright, that looks good. We'll cancel that and cancel that. Continuing on. Back up to the top here. Let's get the lead air off. Anti-ice will stay auto. Helps to hit the right switch. Oh, I don't need to be on takeoff. EPU, tell the flight attendants, do their thing. Actually, I don't think they can, come to think of it. Alright, we're ready to taxi, folks. Auto brake. And test. Alright, here we go. That's not good. Oh well, I had a feeling that might have happened. There we go. You gotta love default scenery sometimes, folks. So obviously it's gonna do it again down here. Out here. All right, let me to answer those questions there, Patrick, when I left X-Plane, I was very hesitant with FSX. Left it because my computer ran out of memory. Nothing to do with FSX, all about this weird guy talking here. I knew better than to set my computer up the way I did, and it ran out of memory. So, it happens. Much to the chagrin of the person helping me, still doesn't believe that was the cause. Well, it was. But anyway, long story short, when I came over to X-Plane, I've been very hesitant. It's a lot different than you would expect it. It's a different sim than the Microsoft. I could tell you exactly how to load scenery, this, that, and the other, to get it to line up properly and everything in all the files. Not in X-Plane. So the good thing is it's pretty simple. However, the scenery does get a little challenging in that files do have to be put in the equivalent of the scenery config file of Microsoft in the old days in a certain way so they don't cause troubles or make the airport harder to see or features to see. And I haven't learned that yet. So 3 years, versus 20 years with Microsoft products, I figure it's a learning curve, and we'll figure it out eventually. But I am enjoying it. I have never dabbled into the ortho world. I've thought about it, but then I find scenery pretty pleasant. So I just go with the scenery. So I figure my normal flying is in this type of aircraft. Guess what? The only time I see the ground on approach and takeoff. Otherwise, I'm flying over. Madrid traffic, Iberia 220 departing 360. Okay, final takeoff checks here. Brake temperatures. Okay, we are set. We'll get the radars turned on and the timers here on the runway. I will tell you what's been fun over the last 23, 24, 5 years, whatever it's been for me in flight simming, is watching some of these airports change. Heathrow is one of the big ones. Flying last week, if those of you were with us, the Brussels flight, flying over Heathrow is unreal these days. Just amazing. All right, so we need lights. Seatbelts are definitely on. We're ready to go. Lights. Oh, there it is. Timer on. Brakes off. Here we go. Remember, we're flexing. Airspeed's live. Phew. Out of here. As soon as that gears up, we're going to put the autopilot on because of all the noise.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Okay. Now, we're going to be doing about 210 to 220, folks, for the next little bit here, all in the noise abatement world. Okay. Spoilers. No, no. When I talk about running out of memory, my hard drives, everything, were to capacity, which I've never heard, and I did it. Yeah, it was my actual hard drives that did it. Bubble 177, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I actually physically ran the computer out of memory to where it wouldn't even start up. So it had nothing to do with FSX. So all in my not properly setting it up. Too small of a hard drive where I was told it would only do something, and yeah, it wasn't. Which is fine. We learned and moved on, and we got us a really good computer this time around, and shouldn't run into that problem. So, but again, hey, thanks for the follow there, Bubble 177. Really do appreciate it. And again, this is the Flight Factor A320. going to be flying it for a couple of flights this week, and then next week we'll try to get some of the other aircraft we have, the 319 and 320. This is not, is there a freeware Airbus out there? Not that I'm aware of, other than the A330 that comes, the A330 that comes with X-Plane. Now, how did I do that? Oh, that's how I did that.
Via Echo Alpha 5.
I'm like, why is he coming in over my speakers? Somehow I click speakers.
November 4.
Gotta love the weird things that
Full
sometimes
short,
happen.
36 left on Zulu 3.
Now, if you notice something, folks, we're doing 220 at 13, pushing 18,000 feet, and I still got flaps 1 out, but we're going to go ahead and retract them. We're now through the speed restrictions, so we can start accelerating. Probably could have started accelerating before, but hey, we followed the star to the best we could, or Sid. But the only free Airbuses that I know of are the A330-300 that comes with X-Plane. Now there is some mods out there for the A330-200, A330-900 Neo, I think, and the freighter versions. And again, those would be free. But for the A320s that I call the baby buses, no, there's nothing that I know of that's free. I will tell you, this is a really good, I recommend it. Just got to be, you know, ready to work around some stuff. But overall, it's a good, solid working. I've been using this probably for the last 2.5, 3 years, and then found out about Tollus and started using them as well. So, all right, we forgot to turn off the lights, but we can get them now. Not a big fan of flying at night on a sim. Right now it's not bad, because you can still see the plane. But as we saw with the 7.4, you really can't see much. In the dark with it. And that's why I like people to be able to see the aircraft I'm flying, all of that fun stuff. Now, some, you know, there are some routes, folks, you're just at some point going to be in the dark.
Miami traffic, route 2052 ready for takeoff, runway 36 left, via Nando 3 November departure.
All right, so we are climbing out. Again, 31,000 is our top. Yeah, I tried that with Brussels, and well, when you're going eastbound, you've got to really plan for that 100-knot tailwind, because it's going to get you in there early. The sun was rising as was just dawn was breaking as we parked. So, folks, oh, and if I should announce, Do follow the Cross the Pond Discord site, and they have announced, I believe it was April 20th. Those of you that love flying that. I used to, because of the work I do. Of late, I have not been able to fly it. And it's hard to stream, folks. Oh my gosh. Those guys that stream it, God love you. It's just so hard. I mean, that Brussels route was rough. Let alone, any of the others. As soon as I can find my Discord, I'll get it to you. Where did my Discord go? Oh, there it is. Right in front of my face. That's where I always got to start looking, just right in front of my face. Cross the pond, cross the pond. All right, will be April 20th, westbound. Now, if you're not familiar with this, folks, I gave you a hint. If you flew it October in the eastbound direction, you would have loved the event, because the flight will say 9 hours and it took you like very close to 8 hours to fly it. That's right, that 100-knot tailwind you all got to enjoy in October, in April turns into a headwind. More fuel, more time. It's the rougher of the directions to go, and I don't know, how real they keep with the real tracks, but yeah, the tracks do drift a little south to get out of those strong headwinds, but not much. Folks, it's rough coming back. You can pretty easily add an hour to your flight. You can lose an hour going east, but you add an hour going west, and it's not for time zones, it's all wind. Then you throw the time zones on top of it. So, but anyway, it's fun, folks. I know people enjoy it. I had trouble on it many years ago, is why I also stopped. I'm trying to talk to some long-haul pilots that come through the airport that we just don't see them anymore like we used to. I'd love to talk to one to find out a couple things that happened on that flight, what the procedures are when they happen in the real world. So I was very discouraged, I'll just say that. And that's why I haven't been back. Plus, adding to it, I'd love to fly it again. I've got some great aircraft to take it on with, but I'd like to talk to them, get some feedback, and get work to play nicely on those days. But it's called work for a reason, folks. You got to do it. So that, or just have nothing for the flight sim. Look at it that way. You got to have it for the flight sim. I thought I pushed that button. There we go. Oh man. Matter of fact, I know I pushed it. I must have pushed it the wrong side. All right, so we just passed and exited the VTB SID. Now we're out on the airway, headed to CRISA, well actually via INPAN, then VULPE and our inbound star. So again, hope y'all are enjoying the flight. Oh, I have been remiss. Put that up there at the top. There, look at that. We're already halfway there, folks. It's not a long flight. We're just about top of climb. We'll get that knocked out, see how far top of descent is, and we'll get into this arrival for those that weren't here when we were setting up the flight to go through it. And we'll dig into it a little deeper. It's just an ILS approach, so folks, it's nothing super complicated getting in there. Not like some of those RNAVs, but what do you expect? You're coming into a coastal airport, so usually they're pretty simple. Okay, 31,000 feet. Let's be nice today to the passengers. Ooh, I think they've worked on this. Look at the lighting in here, folks. Could be a little dimmer. You put it to dim, it should be dimmed. But wow, that looks good. Curious what that did. Okay, little too much. Now let's go back. That is actually not bad at all, folks. That's the one thing I think most flight sim companies don't seem to get right, is that interior lighting. I mean, we're only now seeing these interiors that are just unreal. I mean, they had them in FSX and Prepared. I saw them. I didn't have Prepared, so I don't know. But now if they could just get that lighting to dim better, would be great. The Southwest flight that I flew in the middle of the day was darker than that at night. So they got a ways to go, but that is a great start. Wow. I'm right on board with you there, Patrick V. That looks great. Well, that's one thing I like about X-Plane. The developers with X-Plane, to include the freebie Zibo, which will blow your socks away when we bring that out. First off, everyone thinks PMDG is the company to styre for. I say Zibo. I think they're better than PMDG now. And their interiors for a free mod to a plane that comes with the sim, just mind-boggling. One, that it's free. Two, just how detailed that group has made the 730. Like I said, it eclipses PMDG's 737 in my book any day of the week. There may be a couple things they do better, but PMDG does most of it better on their side. I'm sorry, Zibo, sorry. Got it backwards. Excuse me, I need more coffee. So, anyway. Yeah, Zibo is a 737 mod for the 800 that comes with X-Plane. It's free, and it's just unbelievable what they have put into that thing. And it's constantly updating. So they tweak here, tweak there, keep tweaking it till it just where you don't get that with the others. It's just unreal. And now you got a new sim coming out. If it didn't already, you gotta buy it all again. You don't have to pay for it, so you don't have to buy it again. So I don't know. I'm sorry. It just is one great aircraft. All right, enough on that. Let's get into taking a look here. Oh, we're within 100 miles. All right, let's first get this all set up. All right, so we got to fill in this page real quick. We bring in charts again. All right. And forgive me, folks, if it's not readable. I just do it to that level to not take up as much screen as I could. All right, so we are up here. There we are, coming into CRISA. Try that again, CRISA. We're not going to LEMD. We're going now to Málaga. Okay, that's IVO. You notice you can get the ATISs. If they have a real world one available that charts can read off of, it's available. VATSIM, when they're up and going and they throw an ATIS up, you can read what VATSIM's doing. Since there isn't one, let's go to the METAR. 15 minutes ago, so we got winds of 330 at 11, 31, still a really good runway. Unlimited visibility is how I read that. Few clouds to deal with at 3,000. Okay, we'll be 19 degrees. Oh, I could only wish for that here. Actually, no, I think we are in that area. No, 66 degrees. I don't think we're going to get that high today. And then 1022. Hey, there's our first number. 1022. Temperature 19. 330, what was it at 11? 330 diagonal 11. If you're unsure of the format ever, folks, it's right there in front of you. Diagonal, wind. All right, transition. I don't buy this. 5,000. So we go to the chart, and I'm glad I didn't buy it, because guess what? It's 13,000. Okay, so what we have here, folks, is the current weather. All we got to figure out is what we're going to use, either the mean sea level decision altitude or above the ground. That's these two. You can only use one, can't use them both, because guess what? It's the same point in the sky. It's just, are you reading it from the sea level or are you reading it from the ground level? In this case, that would be a difference of 52 feet. In the case of Bogota, add 8,000 feet from sea level to wherever your ground level is. So yeah, you get the idea. Real quick, we'll get this ILS up here. Hang on, I just need from my minimums. We're a C aircraft, so it's either going to be 409 or 378. Let's go 378. This 409 will stay. How I figure that up? Okay, bold. That's your mean sea level. Parentheses, that's what it is above the ground. So basically this minus 52-ish is going to put you in that ballpark. Ish. I don't even know what touchdown was. We'll go up and check in a minute. So if I put 409 in here, I use the M to tell me that's mean sea level. Decision altitude. Now if you want to go above the ground, you could have put what's in parentheses, whoops, over here. Huh. We're doing a 4%? Huh. Okay. I was just kind of reading this. And then our visibility 1,000 meters. That always throws me off. Not because I prefer feet. It just, I know a meter is close to 3 feet. So we're talking 3 football fields, which, that's a lot to me, folks. So, again, kind of glad the U.S. never went, but then Idle learned it, just been fine. It just really sometimes plays in my mind. All right, so we're 56 miles out. All right, well, you see the ILS? Well, now you don't. All right, let's do the arrival here. Okay, so we're going to be coming in on the VULPE, 1 Bravo, RNAV approach for runway 31. Okay, here is what we're going to do. I am not reading that. Instead, I'm going to show you it. Not going to back it up here. We already did that in the pre-flight. So we're going to come over VULPE at or above 13,000 feet. Exeter, we're going to come in no faster than 250. Then we're going to head to MG 458, 450. Taco, again, maximum here 250. Continuing in, so you get an idea where we're going to be in this descent. By Osnell, 16,000 to 13,000. We'll be in that range because that's what I'm going to work off of. 432 between 15 and 13. So really, I have to this point to be to 13,000 feet. Still 250 knots. Then Buckox, 10,000, 250. That's above, at or above 8,000 at Gomez. So you're going to be below 10,000. Well, and then Eslick, 220. Again, you could be as high still as 14,000 feet, but no lower than 8,000. Now we're finally below 10,000 with our. We have to be below 10, but above 5,500. 210 for the rest of the way into Razid, which is our initial approach fix for the ILS. Maximum 210 at or above 3,000. Kind of a fun approach. Now, let's go to the ILS. All right, over here are our requirements. First off, here's our frequencies, followed up in the briefing strip here by our localizer, which will be automatically set, compliments of Airbus, in their McDo system, and all of the nav data and all of that computers on board. That gets automatically put in. They're updated with every update they get. So 109.9, however, we'll double check it. It's already showing. Go ahead and put that to airport for now. There we go. We don't need it showing, but at least it's showing correct. GAA, and then 312, it'll also have programmed in, so we just go seamlessly in. At 5.0 GAA, so that's off the localizer, folks. 1,700 feet we got to be at, or 1,669 feet AGL. You're going to see 1,700 here, the 1,669 here. That's where the radar altimeter shows. Decision, altitude, and height, and all of that minimum stuff we already saw. It's down below. Airport is 52 feet above sea level, 31 feet above sea level for the runway. That may be why things were a little different. They weren't working off the airport, they were working off the runway. Here's the missed approach, which looks kind of fun. Kind of zigzagging through canyons here to come right back. So, pretty simple. But basically, we're going to climb up to 3,000 feet, coming back to hold, I believe, at 5,000, 7,000. And then ATC will tell us what they want us to try next. And if it is to try the approach again, we just come straight off the VOR, teardrop in, and there you go. Okay, you need a VOR and a DME for this. You need an ILS that reads 0 at the runway. And also be prepared with PAPIs or anything. The visual cue outside, be it PAPI or VASI, different than what you read on your gauge. By gauge meaning the ILS, where the pointer is. All right, speaking thereof, so you can see we're going to hit RASID, which looks to be 10, 14, 18 miles out. Don't know why they won't say that. But anyway, it's a maximum speed of 250 at 3,000 feet. We'll descend to 3,000 at Salvam, 2,000 at Lobo. 1,700 at distance 5, and then on glide slope down for the landing. And if you didn't believe me, there's the vertical chart to back it up. We're going to be at about 700 feet a minute, maybe a little more for our descent. Looking for high ALS, approach light system, PAPIs both sides of the runway. Here's our missed approach. Minimums for those that missed it again. Right, we got our top of descent, 14,000. There you go, folks. Now, that's the charting part. You can see we're just getting here. I'm curious. Are we up here? Coming into the chart here. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. And since it's behaving today, stick it up here so y'all can get a little flavor of where we're at and what we're doing. Then once on the ground, we'll figure out where we're going to park. We'll just park in a gate. Pretty simple approach. Beautiful night for a flight. Let's see how we look outside. Now, I will say one thing I like right now versus the Felis 747 you all saw last week. Did you realize just how bright those lights were still in the windows? Imagine trying to sleep oceanic on that. That looks a little better. I think it could be dimmed a little more. Personal preference here probably. So, you know, don't knock flight factor for that. But you see the difference. I like that, folks. I really do. That's starting that attention to detail. Polis takes that to a few other levels, but for flight factor, I like this a lot. Really well done. Really good job on the lighting. Okay, folks, beg 1 second out of me. I need to go run and get some coffee. I'll be right back. All right, folks, sorry for that brief intermission there as we were descending in. Had to definitely get some more coffee.
Dive!
Bad attitude. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Airbus Flight Factory.
Dive!
Descending into Malaga. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I know I probably started another international incident. All right, let's see where we are on this descent-wise. Okay, really, our focus is going to be at MG 32 at 14,000 feet. Then we'll begin working our way down. So we got a little ways to go, so that's right about here. All right, let's go ahead. Peeps to your seats. Okay, we're a little fast. Being there's no controllers, I'm not going to get overly concerned. But if we did, we would have to be, might even set for 240 and manage the descent. But we're only at like 255, so I'm okay. Now, you see the words activate approach phase. Be careful. I recommend doing that only when you have the control of the speed. You're not letting the aircraft onboard computers control the management of that. Because if you do, it is going to set you to your F speed. So you're going to drag from, say we did it right now, from here to here, 138 knots. Oh, burning fuel big time. When you take over the speed, that is the best time to activate. Now it'll automatically do it at a certain phase, you know, when you've got flaps, I forget which number of flaps out, gear for sure down, automatically triggers it. So just be careful with it. All right, so we need to be below 16,000, so now they're saying more drag. And all you do is pop out some speed brakes. Okay, at the same time, let's go up here, set medium. All right, and let's see, what else do we need to be doing right now? Okay, so McDo arrival set, McDo performance approach set. We need top of descent winds. Well, we're into descent, but all you do, go to F plan, pick one. On the right side, click that. Access wind. Wind request. That ain't cool. Something tells me the spoilers are too much. But anyway, that's how you would do it. So, okay, we're coming through 15,000, which is good. Now we're going to set for 10,000. Okay, bear with me a second. I'm going to go get the dog in. Stand by. All right, folks, back with you. All right, where are we at now? Okay. After this, I'm going to set to be at or above 8,000 and let her descend how she's going to descend. A second, folks. It's still 250. Okay. I am going to take over speed now. And we're going to go ahead and kick the lights on. We're set to go, folks. So we need 1022. Perfect. And that's 8 minutes old. So let's double check. 320 and 9. That's fine. 18 degrees. Bear with me here. So we actually dropped a degree, so it's 18. At 9. Okay, so we're still looking at an approach speed of 130, landing speed 124. Okay, I'm fine with that, folks. All right, and really not much to look outside.
Málaga traffic at 2 Kilo Delta LS runway 31.
Ah, gonna do a maintenance flight there, bad attitude, huh? Up to Boeing Field. Cool. Make sure you put enough speed tape on that 737 to hold things on. All right. All right, so I may have to begin my descent. Hold it myself here. Actually, I'm going to set it to 5,500. That brightened it up a little. Wow. All right.
Major full vacated, Málaga traffic.
All right, we made our altitude restrictions. Now we just have to descend to 5,500 feet. While slowing. I believe now we're at 210.
Málaga traffic, Finna 22 Kilo Delta, runway 31 is vacated.
Málaga traffic, Chinix 1 Hotel Lima landing at 32 left.
All right, so you can see what we have ahead of us. We need to be at 3,000 feet here. We've met all of our altitude restrictions. Now we're just getting into position for the landing. We're slowing up to 210. Huh. Got a master caution, but it went away and I can't get it to recall. So I'm curious what we had. Okay, LS constraints. LS constraints. GAA, we're 24 miles out and ready to turn inbound. All right, folks, again, welcome aboard Flying with Mike. Thank you for being a part of the stream today. Sure appreciate you being here. Hope you all have enjoyed this little 1 hour flight down from Madrid to Malaga. We're about to start turning for the runway here, probably in the next minute or two. So if you are new to the channel, love for you to smash that follow button. All it does, folks, is if you have notifications turned on, tells you you'll get an email letting you know when we go live again. Already had Patrick V 2997 come in with a follow, as well as Bubble 177. So thank you all very much. All right, here we go. We're gonna set this for 3,000. And if you missed something today that you'd like to either look at, learn, or watch again, check our YouTube channel out. I believe every stream we've done has been put up there, good, bad, or ugly. So, again, we thank you for being part of Flying with Mike today. Descent now. Flaps one. Currently 30-mile final, folks. Well, coming on final. Now, there are two runways here, folks. Now, they're not parallel. They're actually slightly off kilter from each other. So they're not actual parallel runways. So don't get, fooled when you come in, because it's one of those where it's off by about 10 or 20 degrees. So. All right, so here we go, folks.
Malaga traffic Ryanair 795 Alpha on the final approach for runway 31. Malaga traffic.
Oh, so at least I've been saying it right. Unlike when other people say it the same way, unless I've taught people wrong, which that's never happened here. All right, we're still working from 1022. Good deal. All right, let me hide that, and we're going to switch to the ILS map now. And really quick, here is the layout. See how they're different? Off by 10 degrees. That's 10 degrees that could really cause troubles. All right, we are coming up on our fix. Leveled off at 3,000. All right, folks, here we go. I've actually got the runway in sight, but we're going to stay on the ILS at least until Lobo, and we'll decide from there. Malaga traffic, Iberia 220, approximately 20 miles. Final, coming over the initial approach fix, Razid for 3-1. Okay, we got glide slope localizer. Let's go into approach. Looks like we got something right here, folks. Localizer's on, waiting for the glide slope. That'll happen probably around Salvam, just past it.
Malaga traffic, runway 31 it's right for 9 Alpha.
Okay, ground spoilers armed. I'm gonna carry it between Salvam and Labo. Is that somebody? Can't really tell. Don't show up here. Definitely have the runway in sight. Sava. All right, here we go. Flaps 2. Nine-mile final, gear down. Flaps 3, spoilers arm, brakes medium. Gear 3 green. Flaps 4. Oh, we might have a cruise ship out here.
1,500.
Okay, folks, there's the radar altimeter. There's the altimeter. Remember, we're looking at about 409 feet, letting us know minimums. Airplane's mine. That is a big ship. Alright. Left rudder here to correct. Getting a little low.
Flight slow.
Malaga traffic, Iberia 220, short final 3-1.
Above. 500. Minimum.
Landing stable.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard 20, 10, 5.
Okay, we'll make the next intersection, taxi back to the terminal. Welcome to Malaga, folks. Malaga traffic helps to be on channel. Malaga traffic, Iberia 220s off 3-1, Echo 5 to the terminal. There we go. Okay, folks, sorry, had a few things going on there, trying to get the radar to turn off. All right. All right, we're in the blocks, folks. Shut some things out here down. All right, folks, welcome to Malaga. All right, real quick, catching up here. Okay, lights, modes, APU started, terrain and weather off, brake look good. Parking brakes in the green and set. Anti-ice APU, get master 2 off first. Master 1. Okay, and then over to the EFB we go. Okay. And we're going to go call. All right, we are in and ready. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed that little flight. It was really fun. X-Plane 12 scenery. Oh, man, that truck is there again. Why is he there? There, he's gone. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. X-Plane 12 scenery just got updated with X-Plane 9.1 or 2. And we got a little bit of an improved scenery, not a whole lot yet, but really the airports look phenomenal. Especially, I will give them this, at night they do look good. So we'll get into some of those sceneries I have added, that being Philadelphia, Atlanta, St. Louis, and one other one. Oh, I gotta make sure. I know I got Myrtle Beach, but that might actually be for X-Plane 11. So, but anyway, folks, welcome in. Let's kind of review the flight here. PIREP is filed. Good deal. Just make sure they got it there at Millennium. Folks, if you are looking for a VA to join, to be a part of people with like interests, you know, Mac Air is a really good one to join. It not only gives you a pretty relaxed atmosphere. Now, there are a little bit of some rules, but very minimal. They pretty much, folks, allow you to fly just about any aircraft that you can find out there, any livery you can find out there, and they may actually have a schedule for that airline. If they don't, make the flight. So when you join Millennium, you come into what's called the open division. Think of it as a normal VA with the normal routes. But let's say I want to fly from, say, Malaga to, I don't know, I don't even know if this is an airport, Evora, Portugal. Well, there may not be a route in the open. Well, join the charter division and make the route. I don't know of any requirements other than apply for it and, you know, give a reason, and there you go, folks. They also have a cargo division that you're more than welcome to join, as well as a historical division. Historical means exactly that. You can fly any of the historic aircraft like the 707, 727, Trident, trying to think of some of the others. Oh, they're just, man, DC-10s, L-1011s, Airbus 300s, even though you could get some of those into cargo. Anyway, Caravel, I mean, they're there, DC-6, I mean, that's what historic is. You can join that and fly those. So really, it's a very open airline for you to work with. If, say for instance, you were in the open division and you found this route and all there was on it was A320s and you don't have one, you can substitute. So they have a substitution chart. It's real simple, folks. Any narrow body airliner will work. So that means you could fly 737. Forgive me, I don't know the Russian counterparts. The 57 could be subbed, I think. I'd have to double check. But, you know, folks, it's really very, very simple. And been with them for quite a while. Also, just a little tag to it. If you're into YouTube, watching videos and all, and know Captain Mac, well, he's the guy behind it all. And he's put together a fantastic staff, very well-run organization, and we're on it. They also have the destinations of the month. This month we're headed to Japan for that destination, out of the Maldives prior to it. So, and we've been to Kathmandu and some small fields, large fields. Folks, they pick a whole bunch. It's fun to fly to these, so check them out if you haven't already. I highly recommend them. So if you're looking for them, it's on there, !Mac Air, but there's the link if you want to just go that way. I do see that, Patrick. Yeah, I really don't have frame rate issues much here. Now, let's turn this around to going into JFK. Stock scenery, default. I can't stay on VATSIM. It will actually disconnect. And some of the other very busy, especially when there's weather in the area or a lot of VATSIM traffic. It's just very, well, it's New York City, folks. It's very scenery intensive there. So I do run into troubles there. So that's why you may not see me staying on VATSIM long in New York, just because I don't want to, one, upset the controller, and two, have it auto disconnect me. So, but yeah, for the most part, I can fly anywhere without stutters, staying in the, well, let's see. Let me get rid of this from my screen. A neat plug-in, folks, if you come to X-Plane, is this AvTab. It's free. I'm getting 29, 28 frames a second. So, at night, in mountains, not much weather going on here, although I did show some signs of weather to the north of the field, which I don't remember seeing inbound, but So anyway, it's a great tool for that. Plus you can, see your map, where you're at, zoom it out in, charts, routes from SimBrief, NavGraph charts. I mean, just a great tool all around. So, but anyway, let's, like I said, get in here and do some business. And as you all are aware, Sim Toolkit, like Volanta, is free. Volanta to some degree. I'm starting to find out there is a lot of stuff to that that's paid. I haven't run into anything that's paid over here that you got to pay for it. Sim Toolkit. Got to get some coffee. All right, so Sim Toolkit. Why I like this program so much, folks, is right here. Not only does it show me my route, the weather, the traffic, and all of the things Volanta does, it also displays my landing rate, and let me complete the flight. And then we can go in and look at it, learn from it. So first off, here's our route to departure. Our lovely run down the mountainous areas, which, by the way, I did not know that about Spain. I almost crashed a plane in the early days of flying on the Sims because I really didn't know they had high terrain here. So, and then there's that elongated approach, which I could have cut off. I just didn't. However, that's where most stop, folks. Will be, right? Let's go a little deeper. We went an hour and 25 minutes, 230 miles, burned 2,600 kilos, and pretty good landing. Really slow, though. That should have been up closer to 124. Okay, all of them can do that, too. Can they do this? That's right, folks. You're getting an idea where you landed on the runway here at Malaga or any airport. Plus you got the metrics over here to help back up what you were doing. So in essence, the goal here is you get to learn either from the mistake or from this landing, which wasn't rough at all. You can also use the replay feature in X-Plane. It works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. But again, it's still a work in progress. But anyway, here's where the end of the runway is for you. Now there could be a displaced threshold. You're not supposed to land in it, but here there isn't. So from here forward, 500 feet roughly for each of these. This is actually more than I would think. We landed 2,200 feet down the runway, which seemed pretty fair. And we got off, I believe, right here. or was it? I think it was right here, and taxied back to one of these two stands right here. Now, the neat thing for aspiring pilots to know, these marks, think of them like a golf course. I know many of you guys out there golf. I don't, but I do know this about golfing. That the bushes, trees, are all, if you have a good caddy or know the course, you know there's so many feet, yards from the hole. However, I forget that part. Okay, well these are the same things, except these are telling you how far down the runway you've gone. Okay, you get to this point, you're on a, what'd I say, 12,000 foot runway? 10,000 foot runway. Okay, that's not bad. But if you're still rolling over, say, 120 knots at this point, I'd be thinking about a go-around. Or sticking my feet up, because obviously the brakes are too hot to stop you, because you're going to go off the end. They do the same down here to tell you how much runway you have. Plus those black boxes down the side, runway distance remaining marks, they'll tell you too. Yeah. So it's two signs there to let you know. Sign and marking on the runway. So some neat things here. But there is a little story that I've been kind of saving as to why I chose Malaga. I wanted to go to Alicante, but I chose this one because there was a TV show on it a couple weeks ago here in St. Louis where I live. Gordon Ramsay's Spain vacation, something along that line. Him and a couple guys go touring Spain, eating, playing, doing what they do to give ratings to Fox. They came to a restaurant here, and I think it was Malaga, or right north of it, and it's right on the beach, and it's, I've got to see this, because this is just too cool to me. I may not like the food, I'll give you that part. I could have troubles there, but I would love to see it in action. Everything's the same price. And all you do is when you see a waiter going around with the food, if you want it, you just raise your hand and they work their way to you, give you the plate, and move on to the next person. I think that is just so cool. Don't ask me why, I think that's just an interesting concept. And I'd like to see it in action, to see what it's really like. So, but anyway, that is why I came to this one instead of the one I really wanted to go to. Where we'll go from here, who knows? But just wanted to pass that along. There was actually a reason for this airport. So, all right, folks, we're in a commercial break right now. So I am going to try it, but I don't know if it's going to work. Let's go ahead. Move. Remove. And while I'm here, before I disconnect, who's all here? Alright, so we've had a couple of aircraft here since we got here, and they're still here. Finnair, and then off to the other side, Ryanair. Now what we're going to try here, he's way down there. Alright, we're going to try to rewind this. I say the words try because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So let's see if the record will replay. Okay, we just got disconnected. That is supposed to happen, by the way, folks. VATSIM really doesn't like watching you go back and forth on a runway. Looks like it's gonna work, folks. How about that? Been a while. Alright, so leave the gears already down. Flaps are beginning to extend. This is why I don't do a lot of night flying. Oh, that was an aircraft carrier we flew over. Now let's hurry in there a little bit. Now you're starting to see why I don't appreciate nighttime flying much. Oh yeah, long landing for sure. Actually, not bad. I didn't even, wow. All right, let's fly back out. I mean, that was a nice, stable approach. Good to me. Let's see how it looked from the passenger's point of view. Not bad. Really good landings. All right. Well, folks, welcome again to Malaga. Thank you for push that button way too quick. Let's see what we can see here. Yeah, very high approach though, and I flared a little more than I should have. See how it looks from the tower. Really never can have a bad landing unless of course you belly in. But looking good so far. Bubble 177, thanks for the first time chat. That's an Airbus 320 from Flight Factor at night. With the built-in replay mode working today. And one more time, and then we're gonna wrap things up here. All right, folks, I want to say again, thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike today. It is always a pleasure. Next up is Friday. We are going to fly from Reagan National in Washington, D.C. out to Memphis. Now, Memphis has been plagued with X-Plane 12 floating buildings, meaning they're not connected to the ground. Not every building, just some of them. We're going to see if they're actually on the ground. Spoiler alert, they are, with this latest update. And then fly A320 again out there. So we'll be flying for Northwest Airlines. So I hope y'all can join us Friday. Until then, folks, thank you so much for flying with Mike today. So get us back in the gate. And I hope you all have a great couple of days, well, actually day. I got to work tomorrow, but we'll see you Friday. So I hit the wrong button. Sorry, folks. Or hit it too early. So hope to see you Friday, and thank you, Bubble 177 and Patrick V2997 for the follows. And Suárez, thank you so much for the resubscribe. Has been a subscribe member for 7 months. We surely appreciate that. And there will be a new aircraft entering the hangar here real soon, folks. Hope you enjoy it. So once we get up to speed with it, we'll bring it on stream. So that's all I'm giving away at this time. Look for little secrets there on our Discord channel. Here's a link to the invite. Love for you to meet us over there. Chat, I'll be able to easily chat, well, not easily. We got flight ops tomorrow at the airport, so can't do a lot of cell phone work during the flights, but afterwards, we can talk all we want. So folks, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for again being a part of the stream. We'll see you Friday, and I'm going to look for somebody to hand this off to. So enjoy your day, enjoy tomorrow. God bless you all. Have a great day.